Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share messages I get from Spirit and from all of us on this journey to love. And for those who are on a twin flame, soul to soul, true love journey and to reunite in this lifetime. And all my messages go from one to the next, and they're all interlinked and connected, and they're all messages to keep you on track, no matter where you are in your journey. And so recently I've just been talking about, over the last sort of couple of weeks, my mum has, who is also in a twin flame connection, she has recently got back in contact with her twin after 4 years. And she was, so just at the end of last week, she was sort of basically she told him, they met up for the second time, and she told him how she felt. And so just over the weekend, I have been sort of like going through all of her emotions, her roller coaster of ups and downs, and have I done the right thing, all the fear and doubts that creep in. And of course, I have been there many, many, many times, because I've told my twin my true feelings lots of times. And you go kind of through this roller coaster afterwards. You get an elated high of thinking, okay, well, this is cool because now I've told my feelings. And then you kind of then question, should I have done it? And then it goes through this, like, it's like being whipped up in a whirlwind, because you have this feeling of elation that it's like, yeah, the truth's out. At least then it's a relief. But then you kind of course, you want to have a reaction. And when that doesn't happen, it puts you into fear and doubt. And then you go through this cycle of fear and doubt. And then you come out of that again and you think, no, that was the right thing. I followed my guidance. I'm, basically breaking through into the light. And so it will just be a constant roller coaster. And so over the weekend, I can see, bless her, this is the first time it's happened to her. So I can just see her going through, and I'm like, oh, I really hope it happens for you a lot quicker than it did for me, because I've been through this so many times. And so the thing is to know that whatever is happening for you. And so again, when I did I've done multiple readings for my mum this weekend. And the same things kept coming through, right? So it is basically the moon, so understanding the secrets within, and it is also the high priestess having to go within. And for them, it's all about the Three of Wands, having to go on a spiritual journey, looking out and going deep within, right? So of course you are one on a more spiritual level and a more energetic level. If you think about it, then if you're one energy bubble together, and basically this piece of information has been put into the energy bubble, then for the energy bubble to digest that information, we both have to go into ourselves to really take it within. And so that's where you have to give each other the space to really digest that. And then trust, because it's in the bubble. Right? It's in your energetic bubble together. So then everything else is really within the divine timing of bringing all twin flames into their union. And I did a video yesterday which was about a letter. Somebody had very specifically asked for a letter around timing of their union. And what came through was that there are codes within each of us, with each of twin flames. And those cosmic codes are basically ignited by the growth of love on the planet. And the message was really clear. It was like, there's nothing you can do about your timing. Your timing is in the control and destiny of the divine. And so therefore this message around surrender again is really, really key. So I just wanted to say that, because I know that it's a massive roller coaster, because you go through this kind of like elated, oh my goodness, I've told my feelings, and then it's like, okay, well, now's your turn to say something. And it's like, oh, okay then, nothing, okay. And there's like this like ridiculous, like having been so elated, and then it's like, oh, okay. And then it takes you a couple of days, and then you're just like, okay, let's go, and then you can get back onto normal again. So it's just like this kind of roller coaster. So I just want to share that, don't worry, you're not the only one going through it. There are lots of people going through it at the same time. including myself and my mum, which is really kind of interesting that we are now doing it together. Except obviously everyone's situation is very different, but it's yes, it's really interesting. It's bizarre. It just gets more and more bizarre all the time. Okay, so and I'm going to do some guidance cards today to say what do we need to know. So the first one I'm going to pull is from the Sacred Geometry Activations. These have been, you know, oh my goodness, look at that, soul time. So the frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Wow. So if you didn't watch that video yesterday, go to watch the last video I uploaded, because in the letter around timing, very much so, it says these types of things, which of course it would be highly synchronistic. So as part of a duality-based world, the concept of time has been defined throughout human history in linearity, with a past, a present, and a future. We look back at where we came from, apply lessons learnt to our present, and move forward with expectations that are derived from the past. Linear time has been comprehensible and has made our future somewhat predictable. The story of our human history is told from the viewpoint that we are born into this world once and leave when we physically die, a straightforward story. Now that we are awakening into a consciousness of a much larger story than a singular lifetime on Earth, and a defined three-dimensional reality, we slowly start to realise that time as we knew it no longer applies. Besides going back into the past and going forward into the future, we find spaces that are far and in between, spaces that are infinite and non-linear. We have arrived in soul time. Soul time means having access to all the experiences that the soul has been through, is going through, and will go through, all in any given moment that we choose. To demonstrate this evolution of linear time, the soul time activation has been created from a repetition of the infinity sign. The purple refers to our connection to the higher realms and source, a connection that needs to be securely established in order for us to experience time outside the reality of three-dimensionality. The yellow is our inner power and the way we manifest ourselves here on Earth, and the hexagons in the image refer to the form-based world, which is linear and three-dimensional, yet an equal component in our experience of reality and time. And the guidance is to do this. Close your eyes and contemplate for a moment your infinity as a soul. What is your soul's curriculum? What circumstances and experiences have you created for yourself so you can evolve toward your highest expression? Are you including the messages that come to you through your dreams and your intuition? Keep a dream journal so you don't miss a thing. Right, so the dream that I've had, again, is about the Tetris. The Tetris, like building blocks all coming together and then like coming down in a waterfall. And it's like all of us coming together, all of the building blocks coming together, as in all the twin flame unions coming together, and then we're going down a waterfall into the water. So it's basically an expression of those emotions. So it's being able to flow in the emotion of the journey as well. And that's something that seems to be coming through quite a lot in my dreams recently. And so Tetris is all about building a wall, isn't it, as well? And so actually we are getting, so by flowing it, by building the wall and then flowing it through the waterfall, basically is indicating that we are breaking down the walls, and we're breaking down the wall, basically the walls that our twins have put around them because they're too freaked out to let their emotions flow. So next one, I'm going to use a Work Your Light Oracle to see, okay, what do we need to do? And so this is Lemuria. Aww. This is about creating heaven on earth, and to know that you're here to do this. This is what's happening. We are creating this vibration of love on earth, which is awakening up a Lemuria, basically, again. This is so lovely. This is so lovely. And so I was reading one of the stories yesterday from people's TF stories that they'd sent in. And just the last one I read said that they reawakened their Lemuria kind of birthright or, heritage. So lovely. So Lemuria, or Mu, is one of the Earth's lost lands, where heaven really was a place on Earth, a time before we were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. In Lemuria, life worked in harmony. All beings were seen as equal, and we were deeply reverent to Mother Earth. We knew that mosquito was no worse than us, and the sun no better. Perhaps you too believe that heaven really can be a place on Earth. Perhaps you're part of the transition team who at a soul level are devoted to creating this kind of harmony on the planet now. Thank you for wanting to do this work. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the state of affairs on the planet right now, but you are being encouraged to keep holding the clear vision of the future. It is closer than you think. You may be guided to hold the frequency of Lemuria in your own community, family, workplace, or within yourself. Know that it is possible. And while at times it may feel like you're alone, you truly are not. There are hundreds of thousands who hold the codes of this ancient lost land, and even Lemuria crystals that hold the codes of remembering that are beginning to rise all over the planet. Keep doing what you're doing, and remember, the only way to heal the world around us is to heal ourselves first. And I hold the codes of Lemuria and believe that heaven really can be a place on Earth. How gorgeous. Well, I am going to go and get a new Lemuria crystal today. And it's just reminded me that this came through from my mum as well. So, Lemuria awakenings. Really, really, truly believing that we can create this heaven on Earth, that we're here to really bring love to the planet, to bring the spiritual love of creating a new world to the planet. And that's just amazing. Okay, so finally we've got the Starman Tarot to see what energy for today that we need to know about for twin flames, so coming into their unions, and it is justice. Oh my goodness, the scales. Divine justice will win in the end. Love will win in the end. Look at this, brain and heart aligned. This is everything about what happens. If you've just been in this scenario where you've told your twin and you're kind of like, okay. This is where you have to get head and heart aligned, right? And also you have to, the seesaw. And basically if one comes forward on a seesaw, it tips the other one over. And you have to basically come into the seesaw at the same time. Otherwise, it gets out of balance. And so that's why you have to remember that everything has to be recalibrated. The energies have to be recalibrated. So it takes time for that to digest. So you just have to give each other space and trust that everything else is all happening. Because at the moment it's all about, just like this says, soul time. It's all about soul time to go and recalibrate that energy and bring that into balance within each other. Get heart and mind aligned. That's what's going on. It's about aligning heart and mind and really following the truth of your soul. And look what's under the soul time card. It's realization. So the frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in the world. So that's why we need time to go away, recalibrate the energies. That's why, because we need to get heart and mind aligned. And it is kicking off a process of becoming more and more heart-centered, becoming more and more of living the highest expression of your truth. Creating new beginnings in your life. 37 is 10, 10 is 1, new beginnings. So amazing. So there you go. That's the message for today. We are doing divine justice, right? We are here to bring heaven and heart aligned to create heaven on earth. Amazing. So if you'd like a healing reading, share your TF story. All details in the link. The stories are truly incredible. I just love them. They're an amazing inspiration, and it's such an incredibly healing process to do it and to write your story, because it just brings it to life again and reignites that story within you. So just like here, reigniting the flame. Okay, I hope that helps. Take care. Bye.